Okay, am I audible? Am I audible? Can you hear me? Any one of you unmute yourself and tell me whether you are able to hear me or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we shall continue our discussion today. I think I'll start my discussion on the biodiversity today. Okay. So in the last class we had discussed on the aspects of the ecosystems. Is it not? So today we shall continue our discussion on the biodiversity. What do you mean by biodiversity? So it is nothing but the variety of plants and animals and other living organisms in a particular area or region. So it means the diversification of the animals, plants, human beings, it all live together in a particular area or region. It also means a number or abundance of different species which live together within a particular region. So all the collection of plants, animals, human beings, etc., wildlife, all of them live in a particular area with a harmony. So that is called as a biodiversity. So why is it important? So we live in ecosystem, which is a part of the web of the life, which includes even human beings also. Each species of vegetation and each creature has a place on the earth and plays a vital role in the cycle of the life. So coming to plants, animals and insects and species which interact with each other and depend upon one another for what we call as food, shelter, oxygen and soil nourishment. So what Edward Wilson, who was called also called as father of biodiversity, has said that it is reckless to suppose that biodiversity can be diminished indefinitely without threatening humanity itself. Okay. So that's why all of them has got a close interaction with one another. Each human beings, it may be human beings, it may be wildlife, animals, plants, all of them are circling in their own way. All of them live in harmony in their own different aspects. That's why this biodiversity is very important. So classification of the biodiversity. To study the diversity of life, biologists use a classification system which is more in a logical manner. So that field of biology which deals with the classifying organisms is called as taxonomy. And Carlos Linnaeus, who is called as a father of modern taxonomy, he was the one who was considered as a founder of binomial system of nomenclature and the originator of the modern scientific classification of plants and animals. Carlos Linnaeus is attributed to be the first person who classified the plants and animals into different species. He is also called as a he is also known as a father of modern taxonomy. So coming to the Linnaeus findings, what was his findings? Found out millions of animals and plants. So how do he keep them in order? By the use of binomial nomenclature. Going to the system of classification, how the hierarchy ranking systems are given is: first we go to the kingdom, then the phylum, then the class, order, family, genus, and finally the species. This is how the system of classification goes on increasing in the hierarchy. First is kingdom, then the phylum, the class, order, family, genus, and finally the species. Moving to the binomial nomenclature, it is identify the organisms by their genus name and the species names. Okay, the first two letters words are the important ones. First letter of the first word is capital, and first letter of second word is all lowercase. The words need to be in italic or in underlined. It is in the under or Latin form of the word. Example: Homo species sapiens for the human beings, Acer rubrum, and also Canis lupus, which means Homo sapiens means human beings, Acer rubrum means red maple, and also Canis lupus means it's called also wolf. So by use of this binomial nomenclature, we can easily differentiate the animals and the organisms which live together in biodiversity. Why it is used? It is used because the common name can sometimes be misleading. Okay, so the common name will be sometimes misleading. Yes. Small example. Imagine human beings itself. If we call them by other name, then it will be sometimes misleading. So what they do is they use these names for the different parts of the world, like in British, North American, South America, Australians used the Robins. Okay, so Latin is a universal dead language. That's why they use the nomenclature in the Latin language. So how do scientists classify organisms? It is that which is derived from a used constructor cladogram, which is a diagram that shows a evolutionary relationship among a group of organisms. So this concept of the classification was derived from the Darwin. Okay, Darwin was the first person who used this type of concept of classification. Okay, so early system of classification used the grouped organisms together based on the visible similarities like the eyes, nose, ears, teeth, skin, color of the skin, all those things. But that led to the troubles because hair. If you classify the human beings on the hair, some will possess black hair. Many of the people possess black hair. Parts of Africa and India, Europe. European people usually possess the reddish brown hairs, is it not? So that's why that will lead to troubles. That's why what the biologists do is they group the organisms into categories that represent lines of evolution, descent, and phylogeny, not just the physical similarities. So these are all derived characteristics which was originally derived from Darwin. Okay. So similarities at the DNA level in the genes of organisms also help to determine the classification, and also the molecular comparisons of the DNA is also used to mark the passage of evolutionary time. So which is known as a molecular clock. It uses the DNA comparisons to estimate the length of time that two species have been evolving independently. For a small example, dinosaurs. If there are two species of dinosaurs, what was the time extent that was required for the dinosaurs of two species to evolve over time is being given by the molecular clock. So it is a dichotomous key, which is a series of yes or no questions that states the rules for placing items into the categories within system of classification, like your plants, insects, trees, people. We could make one for our own classes. If it is man, yes or no? Yes. Then what all he possess? Does he possess two ears? Like that. Vice versa. Does he possess a head? All those things can be put here. Okay. So you practice yourself. You group yourself into two and pick someone that is trust most like today. Move beside them quietly. Hold out your hand. You do all these classifications for you. Okay. So coming to the kingdoms, there are six kingdoms of the bacteria in the biodiversity. One is eubacteria, that is bacteria. Archaebacteria, that is bacteria. Protists, that is amoeba. Fungi, that is mushrooms. Plants, that is trees, and animals which are mammals. These are the six kingdoms of the biodiversity. Okay. So we looked into six bacteria in kingdoms, that is eubacteria and archaebacteria. So before to 1990, there were only five kingdoms. Okay. Eubacteria and archaebacteria were grouped and together named as Monera. Okay. But now they have classified that Monera into two parts, as eubacteria and archaebacteria. So this is the three domain system. Molecular analysis, which have given rise to new taxonomic category, which includes larger than a kingdom, bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Okay. Coming to eubacteria. So what are eubacteria? Eubacteria are usually single-celled, prokaryotic, autotrophic, and heterotrophic bacteria. Most bacteria are in the eubacteria kingdom. So those have cell walls with peptidoglycan. They produce their own vitamins and foods like yogurt. For example, Streptococcus and Escherichia coli, that is E. coli. Streptococcus is a very common bacteria which is usually associated with the lung and the bacterial infections that passes into the tonsils and your ears. Okay. E. coli is a bacteria which can be found in the curds, which is usually found in the intestines of the human body also. Okay, okay. So those bacteria, ecologically, they are very diverse. They are free-living soil organisms to dead parasites. Yes, some of the parasites are very deadly in nature. Okay, some need oxygen and some do not need the oxygen also. Coming to the archaebacteria, these are also the single-celled proteins. They are also prokaryotic in nature. They are also autotrophic and heterotrophic, but their cell walls do not contain peptidoglycans. Okay, so eubacteria usually contains the peptidoglycan. Their cell walls are enriched with peptidoglycan, whereas the archaebacteria, the cell walls are not they do not contain the peptidoglycan. Examples are the methanogens and the halophiles. So these bacteria they usually live in the volcanic hot springs, brine pools, and also the black organic mud. They survive with the absence of oxygen. Okay. Some of the volcanoes are known to bring out the bacteria outside. So these are one of the ones which belong to bacteria. Protists are the ones which are usually unicellular in nature. So they are eukaryotic, made up of two cells, outer wall and a inner wall. Prokaryotic means it is converted with only one cell. So they are autotrophic or sometimes it may be heterotrophic in nature. So the members have great variety. Example amoeba. This is a very good example for amoeba which do not have any particular shape. Paramecium, which possesses a different shape. Okay. So you have to be very careful. I have to identify both of them. Okay, you can see how an example of the protist example how it is formed. It contains a foot vacuole, it contains a macronucleus, it contains a contractile vacuole, pores, macronucleus, mouth pores, cilia, outer ones with small thread-like ones that are being found on the outer body. So all this belongs to the protists. So coming to the fungi, these are mostly multicellular, but some varieties are unicellular in nature. It has got a cell wall, but they do not make their own food. They are always heterotrophic. They depend on others for the production of the food. So they change the dead organic matter into usable nutrients. They are the decomposers. So they are the bread mold. It can be found in the bread mold, mildew, yeast, and the mushrooms. Coming to the plant kingdom, they are usually green in color, which contain chlorophyll, and they make food by the process called photosynthesis, like the algae, mosses, vascular plants, trees, flowers, etc. Finally, the animal kingdom, they are multicellular in nature. They cannot make their own food. They always are dependent on the others for the production of the food. And also, most animals move. They are sponges. They are usually vertebrates. They possess backbones. Some of them are also invertebrates, which do not possess the backbones also, like the sponges, jellyfish, and the earthworms. So there are other group which is also called as a viruses. Now you might have known the COVID virus, which is a mysterious organisms. Okay. Now the biologists are not in a they are not very sure to play which place they have to classify because they are inactive when they are not outside the body and they become active when they are inside the body. Okay, they do not have cell parts. They have got some RNA in them. They do not possess DNA and they do not grow as living organisms, but they multiply. So that is why they keep these viruses outside the sixth group of the kingdoms. Yeah. So it is infectious organisms that reproduces within the cells of an infected host. Outside the host, it is inactive, but once it enters the host body, it starts mutating and it starts replicating the RNAs. Okay, it is not alive until it enters the cells of the living plant or organism. It becomes generally information is wrapped in a protein coat, so it becomes very harmful. So it mutates itself, ensuring its own survival and making it unrecognizable to the immune systems and the vaccines. They become really harmful if it is being unchecked. Now you can see the coronavirus itself, which has become very harmful to the entire world. So coming to the body symmetry is the one which is the arrangement of the body parts. Okay, you have got two types. One is radial symmetry, which has the body parts radiating from the central point. Example: starfish and the hydra. Okay, which poses from the central point. So bilateral symmetry is the one in which animal with body parts are arranged in pairs on either sides of a central axis. You can see here bilateral symmetry how it possesses. It is being arranged in a two-way. Okay, human beings. You can cut the human beings into two parts. Exact replica can be done. Whereas asymmetry means which do not possess any regular body shape. Okay, you can see the bilateral symmetry, radial symmetry, and also the asymmetrical one, which do not possess any perfect forms. Coming to the parts of the body, which are very important parts in the biodiversity, dorsal, ventral, anterior, and the posterior ones are the ones. Dorsal is the top of animal, ventral is the bottom of the animal, that is belly, anterior is front of animal, and posterior is the end of the animal. Coming to metamorphosis, it is a series of changes during which young insects develop into adults. Like a small caterpillar that develops into a butterfly, that process of evolution is called as a metamorphosis. So coming to the complete metamorphosis, that is your egg, larva, pupa, and the adult. So this is egg, larva, pupa, and the adult butterfly. The larva looks completely different than the adult. So what are the incomplete in metamorphosis? Egg, nymph, and the adult. Nymph is a like much smaller version of an adult, like a grasshoppers and the cockroaches. Coming to the biomes, biomes are the large areas or the ecosystems with the same type of climax community. So they are located on land which are called as terrestrial biomes. Those which are located in the oceans, lakes, streams, and ponds are called as aquatic biomes. Okay, you can see the biomes which are being distributed all over the globe. All over the globe, you can find the biomes, and in different regions, they are called by different names. So the terrestrial biomes include tundra biome, taiga, desert grassland, deciduous forest, and tropical rainforests. Others include the savanna, chaparral, mountain zones also. Coming to the aquatic biomes, which includes the marine, estuary, and the freshwater ones are the aquatic biomes. Okay, so these are the different biomes which are being found in the different zones of the world. So these are the tundra biomes which are found in the northern hemisphere. So these are the tropical rainforests which are found in the parts of South America, Africa, and India. So temperate evergreen forests are found in the New Zealand and parts of the Canada. And deciduous forests are found in the parts of the China and other places, North America. Polar ice are found on the top of the other places. So taiga are the ones which are found in the Northern America, in the parts of Canada, and also in the parts of Europe. So deserts which are found in all parts of the Arabia, Africa, Australia, India, parts of India, and even the parts of China. So coming to the tundra, these are the places where there are treeless lands, short soggy summers, long cold dark winters. They possess strong winds, and also temperature never rises above freezing for a long time. Okay. So they are permanently frozen subsoil. Topmost layer of the soil thaws during summer, and they possess a poorly developed soil. Grasses, shallow root plants are being formed. So coming to the animals, you can see mosses, lichens, ledges, bearberry, and short grasses are being formed, along with the waterfowl, musk ox, arctic foxes, and caribbean lemmings. So these are the places where you can find the tundra biome. So these are the different animals that are being found in the tundra biome. Berberry is a common plant that can be found in tundra. This is in the warm season. Taiga. Coming to the taiga, this circles the northern pole. So it is land of mixed pine, fir, hemlock and spruce trees. It is warmer and wetter than tundra. Plants that live here are the bears. Animals that live here are the bears, elk, deer, beavers, owls and the bobcats. So they possess mild temperatures, abundant precipitation during fall, winter and spring. So relatively cool dry summer. They are rocky and they possess acidic soils. So these are the places where the taiga is being distributed. So these are the animals which are being found in the taiga. So this is the owl. Coming to desert. So it is a arid region with very small amount of plant life, which occupies about the one-fifth of the Earth's surface. Little or unpredictable rainfall, usually 50 centimeters of rain or even less annually. So where there are cold and hot deserts exist, and also you get the desert tortoise, diamond bark, rattlesnake, cactus, and aloe are the common plants and vegetation that is being found. So they are found throughout the world: Sahara of Northern Africa, southwestern US, Mexico, Australia, and Utah, Nevada, and also parts of Western Asia. Are the rats and the rattlesnake that are being found in the deserts. Coming to the temperate grasslands, here what happens is it lays between 25 to 75 degrees and centimeters of annual rainfall. Large communities are covered with grasses and similar small plants. They occupy more than the other biomes. So they warm to hot summers and cold winters. They possess moderate seasonal precipitation. They possess fertile soils. Their dominant plants are perennial grasses and herbs, and also they possess sunflowers, oats, rye, and wheat. So dominant wildlife includes coyotes, badgers, deer, and the rabbits. So these are the places where the temperate grasslands are being found. These are the quite common animals and birds that are found in the temperate grasslands. Coming to the savanna, which is a grassland with scattered trees, so you can find frequent fires with large mammals. Many of them are very small animals are dormant during dry period. So three distinct seasons can be found here in savanna: cool and dry, hot and dry, and warm and wet. Soils are very poor. They do not possess any fertility. So Charpal is a one which is scrubland regions of dense shrubs along with coasts. They lie between 30 to 40 degrees latitude. So it possesses rainy winters, long dry summers maintained by periodic fires, and also deer, birds, rodents, and snakes are the ones which are being commonly found in chaparrals. Moving to temperate deciduous forests, precipitation or rainfall is annually 70 to 150 centimeters. It rains all around the year. Cold to moderate winters with hot summers. They possess fertile soils. So the important ones are the broad-leaved hardwood trees that lose their foliages. Animals include deer, bears, oaks, maples, and salamanders. Okay. Tropical rainforests, mostly biologically, they are very diverse. They are found near the equator. They are warm, wet weather. They are dominated by lush plant growth. They receive at least 200 centimeters of precipitation annually, and also they are dense tangled vegetations. So this is how we can classify the tropical rainforest: forest floor, shrub layer, understory canopy, and the emergent layer. So there is always usually competition for light. Soil is usually poor due to rapid nutrient recycling, and also animals are often found as a tree dwellers, like a smart sloths, monkeys, and the bamboos. the aquatic biome. You know that 75% of the earth is covered with water. So they are divided into two categories as freshwater and the marine biome. Marine biomes are the ones which is salt water, like the ocean, sea, and some inland lakes which contain salt water. Freshwater is confined to rivers, streams, ponds, and mostly lakes. So coming to the marine biome, it is the oceans which contain the largest amount of biomass or the living material of any biome on the earth. Living material is nothing but the oceans, which contain the largest amount of biomass or the living material of any biome on the earth. So these are the different types of the biomes and other things. Now, if you have got any questions, you can ask me. Drop in your attendances. Drop in your attendances. So we shall end our discussion next class. Thank you.